Kortnie.
And I'm Emily, and this is Cheers to That. And this is our first regularly scheduled show, so we are going to plan on releasing on Wednesdays. And just as a reminder of what we're here to do, this is your weekly podcast where we celebrate the highs and lows of motherhood and marriage and everything in between. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, and that's what we're here to do. It is our second episode, and we're so excited. Kortnie, please go ahead and talk. I've been doing all of it.
No, that's okay. I'm just waiting for
I don't
my
take a breath.
intro.
Yes.
I was just going to say, so we will be releasing every Wednesday is our plan. And then eventually, we might get into dabbling into twice a week. But for now, expect our podcast once a week, released on every Wednesday.
Yes,
So
yes, middle of the week.
We're excited to bring it to you guys.
Little hump
in
day
the
treat for
middle
you.
of the week.
Yeah.
We also wanted to say thank you guys so much for all of the support we've
Seriously.
received. It's really crazy.
It's been really overwhelming, like in the best way possible, because I think I was shocked. What we talked about yesterday was like all the calls, all the texts, all the FaceTimes, like all the comments, all the follows on our social media. I'm blown away.
I am too, and what I've told some people face to face is it's almost more mortifying knowing that people you know personally and see like every day or every once in a while are watching this.
Yeah.
And it's something different when you're just thinking about strangers watching it.
It is.
But whenever you know that it's going to be people that you know personally, it's a little scary because we are putting ourselves out there.
Well, and it's very like, this is an intimate setting, right? Because it's like conversations you and I have had in private for years.
And now
we're like,
people
hey,
are
everybody,
to it.
We're recording these, and here they are public, which obviously we chose to do.
Well,
this did not magically fall into place.
The thing is, they're listening to it, and the feedback that we've gotten is they're also loving it.
Yes,
So.
yes. And that's not for us to like brag on ourselves so much.
No, it just makes us feel good, and it makes us, it gives us like
Wanna
kind of the
keep doing
validation of why we're doing this.
Yeah.
And it just proves like, okay, we're doing something right. This isn't a complete flop.
Yes.
And it definitely gives us motivation.
Well, and that's like the biggest fear, right? Is that you're going to put yourself out there to be so vulnerable and then
fail.
No,
Faceplant.
or like no one says anything. Like I think crickets might be worse than people not liking it, because like,
that's true.
If we heard people just being like, "Oh, it wasn't really my vibe," okay. But if it was like nothing, like there's no interest because we're so boring or like not relatable, I would die inside.
But instead, I had someone come up to me today. I texted you instantly.
Yeah.
I was almost in tears. I had someone come up to me and she told me, she said, I'm not a mom. I'm not even your, what we would call the target audience. And yet I love listening about people's lives, and I love to see like genuine friendships. And she said, I love the podcast. And I'm like, that's what this is all about. Because we do talk about a lot of mom stuff, right? That is one of our main focuses, but we also want to bring content that
is
anyone
relatable
can
to
enjoy.
everybody. And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I would say our target audience is women. Like in general,
yeah,
like if you're a guy listening to this,
naturally,
you may need to check into like a mental institution, because our husbands feel that way daily, that they want to commit themselves to
Except
a
they've listened to our podcast how many times on their own?
A lot. Yeah,
So,
they both sent us screenshots today. I'm not saying screenshots, pictures. Sorry,
we're so old.
I just short circuited. They sent us pictures of them listening to the podcast on the way to work, and it was really sweet because they heard it live. We've edited it, so I'm like so tired of hearing the intro.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm like, hi, I'm Kortnie.
Yeah.
Like I want to die every time I hear it, and they still are listening to it, and it's been really sweet. So,
I guess they're kind of our biggest fans.
They are. I know.
I think I don't know.
Hot take. I think they like us.
Do we love them?
Yeah.
I mean, well,
like I don't want to admit it. I don't want to get that serious yet. I'm still kind of trying to play it like hard to get. But yeah, that's been really cool. But yeah, opening up our audience. I know we talked a lot about motherhood and marriage last time, but I have so many friends that are single or don't have kids or both, and like we want everyone to listen and just kind of have that like sense of community. So yeah, thank you seriously so much.
It means a lot to us, and we do want to point out though that, and I didn't even realize this until starting the podcast, how important it is to subscribe.
Yes.
So now I understand why every podcast pushes this.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of listening to a podcast
And
for
not
2 years and not even subscribing because I don't realize the difference that it makes to their platform.
Yes.
And so with us starting out so small and from complete scratch, neither one of us are influencers. We don't have a following, like 200,000 plus following on Instagram or whatever. We are starting from
ground
zero.
That's not good. We're not starting from a memorial for
we're
fallen
starting
people.
Bad reference.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
We're just starting from scratch is what I was maybe going to say.
I have to go into witness protection now. That was terrible. Wow. Okay. Good recovery from that.
We're starting from scratch. And so really like, and I mean, people have been like sharing everything on Facebook, and we appreciate that so much. But even getting on our little TikTok and giving us a follow or on Instagram, this is going to be the end of my spiel. But I just wanted to point out, and you pointed it out too, like just how important it is to hit that subscribe button. That way, eventually we can start building that platform and make something
let's
of this.
not lie. When you say make something of this, I would like to monetize this so I can quit my job.
Can we like at least just recoup what we've spent on everything?
Literally.
I had my aunt, she calls me, she was so cute. She's just like, oh, I had no idea you were doing a podcast because I didn't tell a lot of people. And she goes, so like how much money are you making with this? I was like, oh no.
Negative 1,000?
Negative.
Yeah.
We're negative. So if I can just make my money back and maybe get like a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Mission
I don't need to be paid in money. I want to be paid in things.
Give us those caraway pans.
Literally, caraway, if you're listening, I will do whatever you want for those.
That HelloFresh, so Matt can continue to cook.
No, I really
potatoes and
one of our
juice.
goals is we talked about this yesterday is getting the HelloFresh meal that Matt made, like finding what the recipe was so that we can see how badly he screwed it up because like what happened.
Yes.
But anyways, okay. All that to say, I think we're good there. But I ended our podcast yesterday saying like subscribe, review, rate. I don't know what that means, but the other podcasts say it. It really does make a difference.
Now we know.
That's my B. I do know why they say it. So subscribe to us on Apple, subscribe to us on Spotify, subscribe to us on YouTube. All three. If you really love us, that's cool. You can follow us on Instagram at cheers_that. Nope. Cheers _2
that. Oh yeah, that _podcast. We'll link it.
Type in cheers to that, and maybe it'll pop up somewhere. I don't know. It's got our pictures, so good luck. And then we
don't even know how to direct anybody to our pages.
Just to
be a fan.
If you're feeling it, throw it out there. We also have a TikTok which Kortnie is working on and made a cute little video. So we'll be trying to make some clips. But as we mentioned the other day, we are not technology people,
and
this is
kind of
big
ancient.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Like not
I
kind
am
of
not
for sure.
young and cute and TikTok-y to know the trends, and so I'll probably be one of those reels.
We're gonna make it happen.
They're a couple months behind on the trends, and
listen, we will persevere. We're gonna make our own trends that are chuggy, as the kids say, and embarrassing. If you don't know what that means and you're one of our older audience members, that kids are calling us chuggy, us millennials, for everything like claw clips, Stanley cups. Those are chuggy, and those are our main focus points.
My personality.
Yeah, that's my only personality.
Okay, great to know. Moving on.
So since we released on Sunday, we recorded Saturday, and we just got like really excited, and the husbands were hyping us up, and we were like, let's release this right now. And so typically we would have a week between podcasts, so we're going like kind of back to back. So we're recording today's Monday, just for reference, in case the world gets set on fire between now and when this gets released. But we haven't had that many days to recoup our brains of like things we're watching, reading, listening. That's really all the same.
Yes,
but
we're still listening,
and
I had some more thoughts.
I have a lot of thoughts. I want to say that I have been marinating in TTPD, the Tortured Poets Department, just like a hunk of meat.
Basking in it.
And it's like, is that soy sauce? Is that garlic? No. It's Taylor's Pain and Despair. And guess what, guys?
You're feeding off of it.
It's delicious. I fucking love it.
You're in a frenzy, feeding frenzy.
I'm not okay. It's so good.
I know, it really is.
I sent you a Snapchat this morning, and I was like, dude, the more I listen to it, the better it is. So thoughts that I have include Taylor is messed up over Maddie Healy. Like, and I know that's not a hot take.
No.
Like that's like saying,
I am so surprised.
Yeah.
I did not realize they had a situationship.
For a long time.
For about 10 years. I didn't realize this. No one did until this album came out.
I'm shook. And I'm like, rip Joe. Like, how bad. But then they were talking about it on The Toast today, which I listened to, like I said, unashamedly. But they were talking about it that, like, maybe because they had, like, more of a mutual, like, separation situation, it, like, it was a mutual respect thing not to write so many songs. I mean, she wrote So Long London, which is kind of more of, like, a, like, it's bitter, but we talked about it the other day. It's, like, angry, but in a poignant way. Whereas like The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is that the one that mentions the suit that he's known
the
for
Jehovah's
wearing?
Witness suit? No, when she said that, I was like,
yeah, like coming,
world star, like no holding back. Yeah. But yeah, so that is hilarious, I guess. Not really hilarious. That's not the right word. But like just surprising, I guess. I didn't think that. And also, how do you think Travis feels listening?
I was wondering that from his perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and I think she probably definitely gave him a big heads up.
I would hope
these
so.
are the songs that are coming out. Maybe she, played all of them for him, a front row concert, one-on-one, in our dreams. But I think that she definitely front-loaded him on all of this.
That is such a teacher term.
On all of this
front-loaded the new vocabulary for him.
And for him being a grown-ass man, he can know that was in her past, because I'm sure that he had a past too.
They had
hers
relationships,
is just different because hers is highlighted, but that's how she makes her money. That's how she's made her career.
Well, I think that's how she processes her entire life, right? Like you and I just don't shut the hell up. Whether it's to each other or on microphones.
I wish I could put it into something.
No, my brain, I'm so stupid
artisty.
when I
artisty.
Nope, that's not the one.
That's how much of an artist I am.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Was that a Taylor Swift lyric? It sounded like a quote. It was really good. But favorite songs so far? What are yours? Do you have like a top 3?
I really like The Alchemy, and I really like that one because, embarrassingly enough, I didn't know what alchemy meant. I had to.
Oh, I didn't either.
Okay, I'm like, I thought that I was the only one that didn't
sorcery.
know what that meant, and so I had to Google it, and it is a chemical reaction. And so then listening to it, knowing that she's like, no, like, Travis, you and I are having like this once in a lifetime chemical reaction that like no one can take this away from us. Yeah. And it's amazing.
It is. It's really good. And the football references.
Yes, I know. I really like that song.
I'm honestly stuck on the Travis song too, So High School. I'm really enjoying that one. And Connor is really enjoying. If you haven't listened to the song, there's like a part where she says like, touch me while your boys play Grand Theft Auto. And Connor likes to quote that to me out of context. Because it's like weird. Like it's kind of a weird lyric on its I mean, it's like not that it's a super normal lyric even.
Yeah.
Whatever. But Connor's been like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this lyric? And I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get Taylor.
You just have to get it. No, whenever I listened to that song, it almost brought me back because, fun fact, Matt and I actually dated. I was in high school, 2 years apart, and so he had just graduated, and then I was going into my junior year, and so it kind of brought me back to like some of those just young feelings that we had.
That like kind of lusty, like boy crazy stage. I know.
Just that teenager phase.
But do you
that's just the phase she's in now, is having fun with it. And
do you think it like kind of not devalues, it's a bad word, but just like, I almost feel like it makes their relationship seem less serious when I compare the poetry and the feelings and the nuances of all the other songs that are about, like, specifically Maddie Healy.
You know what? I think it's because she was on such a pedestal and she was under a microscope whenever she dated all of these guys when she was that age, when she was 16, 17, 18. And I think now she is confident enough in the person that she is that she can kind of like live out those teenage dreams that she missed out on because she was in all these serious ass relationships with all of some of these older men
criticized
that were
Jake Gyllenhaal, we're looking at you. John Mayer, we're looking at you.
That, I mean, had no business dating someone so young.
No.
And so she missed out on that fun stage.
Well, and like that anonymity of being a teenager and being in high school and dating and stuff. Yeah. No, I definitely think their relationship is fun. I just wonder, like, I keep seeing all these memes of people.
I haven't seen them.
Well, not memes, reels or Facebook videos.
Oh.
I know. I'm
just into reels.
I meant TikToks. But I saw one the other day that was like a girl made it, and it was like, she was playing Taylor and playing Travis, and she's like, okay, babe, my new album's coming out, so I just want you to know, like, it's pretty serious, and it's got some, like, big feelings in it, and then it, like, goes to Travis, and it's like, yeah, babe, totally, like, I love it, like, and I just wonder, I just spit everywhere, I just, like, wonder, I feel like Travis is kind of getting, like,
but maybe he
drug through the mud almost for like not being like such an intellect.
Well, I think she's playing on the fact that he is this like big burly football player.
Yeah, and he's
like
hot.
She knows how to play on that fact.
Unrelated.
Wow.
And I love
him. Tell us how you really feel about Travis.
I love that Taylor Swift is getting bodied by this big American, muscly.
He wraps her up and gives her a kiss on her forehead.
And opening car doors for her. And it's not these like, sorry, no offense if you're one of these like artsy little emo boys where I'm just like, screw you. Like, you don't, whatever. So anyways, that's the Taylor Swift talk of the day. Literally, what did we say last time? This isn't a Taylor Swift podcast. Here we go.
I know, but there's so much to dive deep. And even after the podcast last time, I was like, oh man, I forgot to talk about this. Like, I really wanted to talk about that song I just did because there's so much to it. I'm sure we'll still have more to say. It's so in the zeitgeist right now.
Like, whenever someone else releases an album, maybe we'll care. Not this much. Not this much.
I really don't care about. I'm not big on like album releases that much, unless it's Zach Bryan or Taylor Swift. So this is my life.
I feel that
right here. And you know what they both have in common is just their
lyrics.
Meanings of their lyrics, and I think that's what I live for.
Yes, I agree.
Because deep down, I am like an artiste.
Well, I would like to expose you real quick. Kortnie did sing "Suds in the Bucket." Who was that by? Martina McBride?
Sarah Evans, actually.
Excuse me, Sarah Evans for her 5th grade.
Suds in the bucket and the clothes hanging out on the line.
Exclusive.
I thought I was something.
Cheers to that exclusive.
That was my 6th grade. I was for our talent show. It was called Valley Idol because I'm from. Should I say where I'm from? Does that matter?
I think it's fine.
I'm from Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, and so it was called Valley Idol. And I got up on that stage in our old theater, and
how you just sang it.
I sang that bop.
But I bet how you sang it was not like that because what you just did was very. I bet. Here's what I think you did. She let the suds in the bucket and the clothes hanging out on the line.
Oh, 1,000%.
And then, wait, did you hit the you?
Oh, I did. There's a video hanging somewhere around that I will
be searching for it.
Dig through the archives.
I'm hiring a private investigator, and I'm hunting that suds in the bucket down. That's amazing.
I thought I was the next Taylor Swift.
You are. You still could be. At 30.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are about the same. Time.
I was about to say. I mean,
you have the talent.
The talent.
You have the lyrics.
That's what matters.
You know what alchemy means now.
I have the heart and the soul.
Well, it's like what we said years ago. The only thing really holding us back is our jawlines.
Hey, you know what? If we start getting paid for this podcast, guess what's coming next? Ladies and gentlemen.
Guess what's coming next? One chin.
You won't have to look at this anymore.
Yeah, we're going to make the camera angle just like all your old, like the moms take pictures on Facebook. That's going to be the camera angle. If you're listening and not watching, I just like pretended to put a phone above my head. You know exactly what pictures I'm talking about. That all the like old baseball moms are like, Brayden, Jaden, and Layden have a baseball game. And it's like baseball mom's hat rhinestones.
With the filter on.
Yes, a filter, the Snapchat filter with butterflies. And it's like all natural. Literally. Okay, well, that was a tangent. That was a tangent. Okay, so what are we going to do next? You want to do holy matrimony?
Yes, let's go for it.
Our marriage stories, they're on your phone.
Yes.
Oh, wait, do you want to tell ours first?
I only have one marriage story that you sent, which I think is very funny, because I think we can all relate. I'm sorry.
What?
One of my best friends from Oklahoma just texted and said, and this goes perfectly with what we were just about to say, new segment idea, and it's dumb shit men say, and that literally ties in perfectly.
God, are you listening?
Literally like, to what you said.
Grace?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Grace.
I know.
This isn't about your husband.
Sorry if you wanted to be anonymous.
There's no anonymity.
We couldn't keep Morgan Wallen anonymous.
Damn, I really screwed the pooch on that one.
So this girl sent M on Instagram. Can any man spell? If I see lettuce, Lettus, on the grocery list one more time, I will walk into traffic. But wait, I'm really confused why it's spelled so badly.
Let me tell you what I love about this, because this ties into another message. So on our Instagram, I put polls for like marriage stories, mom stories, all the things. And this girl wrote in and said that her husband spells lettuce wrong. Your husband wrote in on the marriage stories and said, one time, go ahead and read it.
One time, my wife and her wife decided to start a podcast to roast my mashed potato method.
But he spelled potato wrong.
He did. Potato. Potato.
Yeah. So I just think it's really...
So you can't make potatoes, and you also can't spell potatoes. Maybe you should just give up on that, Matt.
Yeah, quit cooking. Potatoes are your enemy.
Dumb shit men say.
Dumb shit men say. You heard it here first. Let's do like a jingle. Dumb shit men say. I think that was beautiful. I think we harmonized.
Can we make that into a clip?
It's going to sound so bad. We're going to play it back. It's going to sound terrible. Okay, now I want you to tell the world your marriage story that we talked about before this.
I think I'm ready. And because I had a couple of people already say like, oh, I thought that was going to be the first story that you decided to share about your marriage. This happened not too long ago. It was actually right after Fielding's birthday party, so right at the end of January. And we get home, we're putting the kids to bed. Matt has one job. One job.
To put the kids to bed.
Just carry Tucker upstairs, safe and sound. Put him in the crib, but back down.
Y'all's stairs are also wood.
They were wood, and we don't have like a rug on them.
And Matt,
he also had socks. So
it's all his fault.
My husband
We're victim blaming.
Is walking up the stairs with our child in hand, our toddler, and he falls down the freaking stairs.
It's
all the way
funny,
down.
But it is funny.
It's not funny, but it is. And it's only funny because, thank God, truly, my son was not hurt. Like, he cried.
But wait, was your husband hurt?
Well, he can take it. The Tucker can't.
It's only funny because one of them wasn't hurt. So I thought you were going to say neither of them were seriously hurt, just Tucker.
All I hear from the other room is, Court. And I come running, and I see both of them on the ground. So my instinct, I'm sorry, babe, but my instinct was to pick up my son first, who's crying.
That's fair.
I checked him over, and everything was truly okay. Like,
he just had a little bruise on his head.
Yeah, and Matt said the reason he did fall down the stairs the way he did is because he grappled around him and protected him.
Bear hugged him.
Because he said that, my daughter never stops talking, and so
I don't know where she gets it from.
She was, yeah, I don't know, no idea, not one of us.
Not us.
She's dada talking to him, so he turns his head, looks down the stairs, and then he has the socks on, and he slips and falls. Here's the thing, though. He's laying on the ground. I get Tucker. Tucker's fine, okay? He has a little bit of a bruise. Matt's still laying on the ground, and
Kortnie does not react in a crisis well.
Well, I freeze. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to criticize you.
I know.
You just, like, I wouldn't say your freezing is done well, right? Like, it's kind of like
I butchered the freeze. I totally butchered it because my first instinct was to go hide in the kitchen and look around the corner. I have Tucker in my arm. I'm calling you. What's sad is you're my first call.
She calls me first.
I call you.
Do I need to call an ambulance? Is Matt okay? Well, he's laying on the floor and he's saying he's having a hard time breathing.
And he can't move.
Because
what I tried to do was, hey, Matt, just stand up. Like, I'll help you to the car and I'll take you to the ER.
Yes, which also I would like to point out, yes, we were at my child's birthday party, but we had been drinking as well.
Yes.
That's not even really like the cause of this, but like Kortnie was going to
drinking.
just like.
Matt was fine.
Yeah, no. It wasn't like
me that was like a little like,
tipsy.
Out of it.
And then Kortnie's like, I'll drive him to the hospital. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I just really don't want to pay for an ambulance. I'm like, but he can't breathe. And then you call another one of our friends who is an EMT.
I called Chris, who, to be fair, is a firefighter. He should know what to do. And so he picks up so calmly. This is 11 o'clock at night. He picks up.
It was that early? I thought it was later than that.
Or 11 or 11:30, somewhere around there. And no, it wasn't that late. Okay. 11 or 11:30, he picks up, and I'm like, hey, Matt's laying on the ground. He's saying he can't breathe and he can't move. Do I take him to the ER? And it's like that long ... silence.
Like, yes, you idiot.
And he's like, yes, you need to take him to the ER. Or you need to call the ambulance.
Like, what would have shifted it to make you know it immediately you needed to call? Like, what more could have happened?
I would have, like, seen blood or something, but, like, I just thought that maybe it was a little sore.
After falling down a flight of stairs. We have a video that we will have to find. I know Matt sent it to me. Matt made Kortnie reenact it because Kortnie was literally hiding in their kitchen. And their kitchen, like, you can see the stairs if you poke your head out of the kitchen.
I'm on my phone like this. Like,
you're away from the mic.
I'm like this.
Hiding around the corner. He doesn't look at you. He can't breathe very well. And Matt's laying on the floor. By the way, his rib is broken.
Matt thought that his back was broken, honestly.
I'm shocked it wasn't.
It was just a rib. But apparently those are kind of painful or something.
Just a rib. And then, can you tell him what he did the next Friday? We can cut it out if you don't want to.
No, let's go for it. So this was right before his 32nd birthday. And so he broke his rib, poor guy. Well, on Saturday night. He had already had an appointment scheduled. It's one of those appointments that kind of takes care of all future endeavors. And
You're being so vague. Future endeavors.
It's a little snippety snip.
With children.
Future endeavors. A little snip
Starts
snip.
with a V, ends with a sectomy.
And so this poor guy not only had his rib broken, but then he gets his little snip the next week.
No, like he less than a week later
through it. Yeah. I felt so bad. Truly, I mean,
honestly, it's kind of good that he ripped the Band-Aid off and
just get it done all at once. Don't heal up and then have to re-heal on something else. Just be miserable all at once is what we.
And then anytime he sneezed for like 3 weeks, he was like,
horrible.
I'm going to kill myself, and I was like, that's
yeah.
you're going through it, buddy.
He was in pain.
But then we talked about it a lot. One of the topics I had written down on like our list when we're generating ideas is vasectomies versus childbirth, because I was the biggest bitch to Matt whenever he got a vasectomy. He's like, it hurts so bad. And I was like, oh, that's so crazy. Imagine going through labor and then ripping your private parts and then getting them stitched up. And then you have to wear a diaper. And then someone hands you.
So you want to tell me that one little snip was painful?
And then someone hands you a newborn and says, take care of this.
No, actually, it really was painful.
And like, I'm sure it was.
Like,
it's all relative.
Yeah,
like,
no.
It's not a competition, which I had to remind myself. But I was like, shut up, Matt.
But at the same time,
But you gave him 2 kids, so like he can't.
Yeah.
But what Connor always says is like, well, if I could give birth, I would. Like, it's not my fault that I'm a guy. I'm like, but it is.
Yeah, we're still going to blame you.
It's not fair.
But yeah, so that's how Matt broke his rib that one time.
And literally in January.
I let him lay there for 15
We have to find the video. We have to clip this and find the video of.
I called the ambulance. The ambulance took him. Nobody come at me. Nobody worry about Matt's well-being.
My brother, my sister's brand new boyfriend.
Because I called you and I said, do you think Connor and Tristan and Will can come over and help carry and put Matt into the car?
And I was like,
and Matt, they got
call
over
an ambulance.
And Matt
Matt's
was like,
screaming.
Do not touch me.
Yeah.
Like he was.
And like my sister's boyfriend, which Alyssa will, I'm sorry that you're even being dragged into this, but here we are. Will and Alyssa had been dating for, like, I don't even think they were official yet.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, welcome, Will. And they, I think, had been dating for like, knowing each other for like 2 months, maybe. And Will went over there and just like went for it. And I was like, I like Will. Like, he is good people now. He's in. Because I'm like, damn, he saw Matt in
if
a
you're willing to rescue,
state.
like, basically a stranger.
Willing.
If you're, I don't like that.
To rescue. I thought it was nice. Okay, well, can't win them all. Can't win them all. Whatever.
So what's your holy matrimony story for
I mean,
this week?
Nothing can really compare to that. I think I'm just going to roast myself yet again. I'm not usually this self-deprecating, but here we are. So Connor was snoring, which is not an anomaly. He snores a lot.
Is this a man thing? Because
yes, it's only if he lays on one side. So like I kick him over and over and over again and say, roll over, roll over, roll over, roll over, roll over. And then eventually I kick him hard enough that he wakes up, and then he's like, why are you always kicking me? And I'm like, I've asked you 37 times.
Snoring.
You were just not conscious for those first ones. So you got me when I was being, you didn't hear when I was being nice. So now I'm being an asshole because shut up.
You made me be like this.
You, again, victim blaming. Please don't do this. So
just gaslit the shit out of him.
Always. A few, weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point, he was snoring, and I kept kicking him, babe, roll over, babe, roll over.
Being so nice.
I love you
and
so
patient.
much, my sweet, beautiful prince. I didn't say that. But I'm like, roll over, roll over, roll over.
And then you're like, all right.
So then, and I'm like pissed at this point, and I guess I hadn't been sleeping well, like up to that point, and it had been constant that night. Mm-hmm. So finally, I broke inside emotionally, and I shook him hard enough, and I looked him in the eyes. And I whispered in the calmest voice, I'm going to fucking kill you.
I'm sure that scared the shit out of him.
No. Can you imagine? And then he goes, what? I know, it's really sad. No, I'm sure I did, because I was like eerily calm. It wasn't like I was even angry. It was just like, you're going to die tonight. And he's like, that's what I woke up to. Like, he didn't, because he wasn't aware of the rest of it. And I'm like, I've been trying to wake you up for 2 hours. So that's my marriage story.
You pushed me to my breaking point.
The what broke me? I was like, I'm sorry, that was too much. Like that.
But I know that was crazy. Whenever you're trying to wake them up, they're in a deep sleep.
And whenever I'm in that in and out of sleep, that's when I get like my angriest.
Bad,
like when I'm half asleep and like Fielding won't stop pulling my hair or like rooting around, I'm like, lay down right now. Like, shut up and let me say it. So that's my marriage story of the week.
I love that.
God only
we've
knows
all been there. So we can all relate to that.
And
maybe next time a few more people will use that on their husbands. Just really,
you just scare the shit out of them.
Keep them scared straight.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that show?
Yes, and it's effective. I think those kids stop doing drugs.
Husbands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're snoring, so.
Truly. Yeah, I did that, and it worked for a few days, so. Yeah, just act like Ted Bundy. Just embody Ted Bundy and really tell them very seriously that you're going to end their lives.
Snore again.
Yeah.
Or so the story goes.
Yeah. Or they won't live to tell the tale. Okay, parenting. So we called it parenting win and fail, but one of my friends,
really good.
Jason, said we should call it parenting cheers and jeers. If you know what jeers means.
Well, I'm so bad at vocabulary, which is a very embarrassing thing to admit. But I asked him, I'm like, what does jeers mean? So you want to explain?
I think I know, but now I'm kind of scared I don't. But jeers would be like a negative thing. Like jeers has a negative connotation, just like cheers are positive, jeers are negative. Like a jeer would be. Do you want to look up the actual definition? Thank you so much.
Now.
Save
I promise
me, please.
I'm not scrolling.
Yeah, what the hell, Kortnie?
Making rude and mocking remarks, typically in a loud voice. So a rude and mocking remark?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
look, it's cute.
Yeah,
we'll go with it until we decide that we might want to change it.
Get over it.
This is our podcast. We can do what we want.
Send me a freaking definition next time you give me something. I'm too stupid for this. He's an English teacher. He's like teaches AP.
We've said before, we are brain dead.
No, we're stupid.
What do you expect from us, Jason?
There's nothing more that you can ask for. Yeah. Okay, what's your win? I know it's only been 2 days since we asked.
I know. I'm really having to.
Can I please tell your fail?
Deep in the archives, please. Let's embrace our fail. I think our wins for this week, unless you truly have a win. We kept our kids alive the past 2 days.
Literally, that's it. That's it.
But I do have a fail.
And I would love to tell it because from an outsider's perspective.
Let's give some background. So because we released our first episode, in true cheers to that fashion, what do you guys think we did?
I'll give you a hint. Starts with a C, ends with celebrate.
We celebrated. She texted me, hey, let's do dinner. Like, let's celebrate.
Yeah.
And
let's get some steaks.
You know what? We have kids, so we cooked at home because it's too hard to go out.
That's the only way to celebrate. Going out with kids is not a celebration.
And it was fun because my in-laws were in town, so they got to celebrate with us. And they were, like, watching the podcast
on the TV.
On the big screen. And so they got to celebrate with us. It was really fun. And so this is all happening. We're trying to get ready and shuffled in for dinner.
3 kids, a million things are cooking. Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's my turn.
Yeah, no, go ahead. It's okay.
So, we were outside with the kids, and like Kortnie walks in, and she's holding Tucker, and Addie and Fielding are running around, and we're trying to get steaks in and out of the oven, and Kortnie is going, "Hey, has anyone seen Tucker?" And no one answers her.
And I felt panicked. Because we had just come from outside.
I could tell you were feeling panicked, and let me tell you why. Because you were doing some hand gestures that looked like a flight attendant a little bit, and you go, "Does anyone have eyes on Tucker?" And you're getting more and more aggressive, and I thought you were joking because he was on your body. And I was like, I looked at you and said, "Are you joking right now?" And you were like, "Joking about what? Where is Tucker?" And I was like,
"Sorry, I snapped."
No, it was fine, but I was like, "Oh, she's serious." And so then I was like, "You're holding him," and the look on your face was of such like sheer terror that you had disassociated so hard.
I'm a disassociating girl. Like
the lights are on and not a single person is home.
Sometimes I'm just in outer space, but that is the first time that I've ever like felt so out of
had
body.
A baby on your hip and asked where he is.
Literally had Tucker with me. And I'm panicked. Where is he? Where is he? I'm like, how could I not feel him on my body? I couldn't understand.
Stop saying the rest of the night, "Does anyone have eyes on Tucker?"
I couldn't quit nervous laughing about it because I'm like, how am I that brain dead? Am I okay? Do I need to be committed?
It was awesome. I mean, honestly, being committed sounds nice to be a little vacay.
Can I get a solid night's sleep with that?
Literally. By myself. That sounds amazing. So I don't know that that's really a fail. It's more just like
it's
hilarious.
A fail. It is definitely a fail. What's yours?
Oh man, what is mine? I thought of one, but now I'm thinking back to what I originally had. I mean, the ever-present battle in my life is feeding my child.
Yeah. He's a picky eater.
Connor's a picky eater. My husband is the
Blame it on Connor.
Eater. Yeah, well, it's obviously his fault. He is surviving solely on sour cream and onion chips at this point. And nerds. Like, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I try to give this kid food. He just refuses. He did eat mac and cheese today, but I would take all the tips you have.
Practical tips.
Don't tell me, like, I can't give him snacks or feed him ever because, like, he is 2. And I can't be like, "No, sorry, sweetie. You can't eat for 2 more hours." He would just punch me in the face. So
he would definitely yell at you.
He would scream at me. So I did have a win, though.
Oh, okay.
So my son is a little bit of a late talker. And yeah, we've been evaluated with like speech therapy and stuff, but we're just waiting a little bit longer. We tried a little bit, not very much, but he just doesn't seem ready for it. And I know there's never too early, but we're just trying to I'm a teacher. We're trying to handle it at home a little bit first. And he's getting there. He's getting better. He's trying to verbalize things, and he says some words, but he's just not at that 2-year milestone.
Yeah.
So we were walking to Kortnie and Matt's house Sunday, whatever. We're walking over there, and I had told him, look, there's a squirrel. We were looking at a squirrel, and it was jumping around. And he saw a squirrel later under a car, and he goes, squirrel? And I was like, holy
and that's
shit.
a hard word to say.
2 syllables and a QU situation. That's crazy. So he did that, and that was so exciting because and then today he said Addie's name so clearly. He comes and looks at me when I'm sitting on the toilet because there's no such thing as privacy when you're a mom. And he's like, Addie? And I said, Addie's at school. We can't talk to her right now.
So he goes.
And then he goes, tuck. Because he wants to call Tucker. I'm like, they're both at school, buddy.
Because he wants to FaceTime.
He wakes up almost every day and asks to FaceTime Tucker. He's like, tuck.
It's so cute. That's his little buddy.
Yes, he loves him, and he pets his hair. I think he thinks Tucker's a dog. I'm not really sure.
Tucker thinks he's a dog.
Tucker is a dog. Tucker's got that dog in him. That dog never stops eating. But yeah, so that's my win, and that's my
That's a huge
fail.
win.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, he gains words every week. It's truly getting better, but he's just he's not a mimicker. You could be Fielding, say ball, say mama. And he's like,
mama.
Yeah, I can sing that. I can play Miss Rachel. I can do the things. And he's like, go screw yourself. Yeah. I'm busy.
Well, he gives you that look.
Absolutely. He rolls his eyes at me.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, and he goes and plays those cars, and it's leave me alone. I'm vrooming.
Yes. I'm busy, Mom.
So,
leave me alone.
Yeah, don't really know how to recover from that. But yeah, those are the wins of the week. And, me being a little vulnerable, so don't roast me about my kid being a late talker and not eating and co-sleeping.
You know what? It's just all bundled in one.
I'm a really good parent, though. You should write in so I can give you advice.
Shit. You are a good parent.
Let me discredit myself fully. My kid can't talk. He can't sleep on his own. And what else did I say? He doesn't eat
all
anything.
of these things are relative to what works for us and what works for our kids. And like we said in the first episode, there's no rule book. And there's no manual on how to do this. There's guidelines, set out by
No, he's
CDC,
safe.
But it's all
the
just
CDC?
Is that CDC? No.
The CDC is the Center for Disease Control.
I said it so confidently. What's the
American Pediatrics Association?
APA. Thank you.
The CDC. Because toddlers and kids
full of
are
diseases.
A virus.
They are diseases. He's covered there. Under CDC guidelines, he's covered.
I'm honestly really glad that I caught that because I was totally going with it. And then I was like, that's not right.
Can you imagine people listening to this and being like, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Why are we listening to her?
She doesn't know what the CDC is. She doesn't know what alchemy means. We don't know what jeers means.
So you're admitting to all of your, weaknesses with parenting, and I'm a shitty parent. IQ.
You're illiterate. It's a beautiful combination.
I love it.
Okay, last but not least, segment-wise, we've got Mom TRAUM.
Yes.
And one really good one that someone sent to me.
Let me pull it up
Pull her
real
up,
quick.
girl.
It's funny because a lot of the mom traums I feel like that we get has to do with our kids shitting somewhere.
Yes.
But that is traumatizing.
The nature of the beast, buddy.
So, this girly pop says, my son shit his pants. We were trying to take his pants off and to get, the excrements into the toilet, but then it fell onto the floor, and then he stepped in it, and then I stepped in it, and then there was just shit everywhere. And that just sounds like a motherfucking nightmare.
Yeah, literally. So I know this girl a little bit. We're not close friends, but we followed each other on Instagram, and I think our sons... I think her first son was born in October, and then Fielding was born in January. So they're however many months that is, 4 or 5 months apart. And then she has another baby that is maybe 6 months old, 7 months old. So I'm just imagining a 2.5-year-old and a 7-month-old.
Yes.
They're technically two under two,
Oof.
when they were, whatever. And I'm imagining stepping and shit in it being everywhere, and I just... throw the whole house away. There's just no recovering.
You want to deal with less. I know I've had to get ready in the morning when Tucker was little, and I had him in the skip hop.
Oh yeah, the little bouncer thing, right?
And he has a blowout, and I look down. I'm just trying to get ready for work. I'm trying to be on time.
The mornings are the worst part of the day.
It's impossible to be on time. And it's because you have things like that you're having to deal with, where I had to throw him into the bathtub to get him taken care of. And then I had to throw the whole skip hop into the bathtub. It was a horrible mess. So I can only imagine what this girl was going through and her feelings at the time.
Well, I'm sure she is
Nightmare.
in the potty training phase. I haven't asked her about it. But so he'd be like over 2.5. And like, I know that is coming for me. Potty training is upon me. Like my son turned 2 at the end of January, and I'm like, fuck. And he's like at the point now where he's like wanting to take his diaper off when it's full. He pooped the other day and brought me the diaper bag.
He's definitely
he's in the phases, but I'm just like not ready because I know I'm gonna step in some shit, and it's just not gonna be good. I will say that I do want to potty train him because the other day, yesterday I think, he took whenever he brought me the diaper bag, the scariest shit I've seen in parenting.
When they get
like
bad,
I told
you're
Connor,
like, all right, it's time.
Well, I told Connor, I'm like, thank God that diaper was secured because it splashed the mud flaps. It almost went out the back. I was like, what happened to you? But don't worry, he ate 2 bananas in a row last night at your house, so he probably won't poop for the foreseeable future. All that potassium. Did you have any other mom traums? I don't know if we had any other ones.
What's crazy is we don't have our producers right here in the room with
God,
us
so
because
true.
they're taking care of our kids.
Yeah, they're keeping the kids away from us.
I don't really have a time on us, but I guess I could take 5 minutes. I just wanted to. My mom traum is not poop related, but
shocking.
It is my 4.5-year-old who gives me a run for my money with the deepest questions known to man.
And she's done them to me too.
And this is what I texted you one night, and because I was just like so emotional, I'm like, there is no, and I keep saying this, and I'll keep saying it more. I don't care.
Please. It's basically
there's no manual for this parenting. And especially whenever certain questions come at you, and she starts talking about my mom, who is passed away. She's been passed away for a while, and she knows that, and she knows her grandma's in heaven, and she's asking me all of these
and she's so confused about it right now,
and trying to explain it to her, and well, Mom, where is heaven? Why is she in heaven? This and
she's
that.
a deep thinker,
and she is. She feels with every part of her being. She is just someone that like feels every emotion.
Yes, she's an empath.
Yes,
that's what the kids are calling it.
I guess that's the fancy word for that. She's an empath, and she thinks very, very deeply, and she wants to know. I can't give her some bullshit answer.
No, she wants I was going to say that. She wants a true explanation.
Because she truly wants to understand it.
Yes.
And I'm like, girlfriend, like,
these things
are hard to understand because they're so abstract. How do you explain that to her? And she's even done it to you. So I feel like you can almost take a little bit of credit for this mom traum segment too.
No, I can certainly take credit for it because one time I picked Addie up from school. Because I'll randomly just pick her up, like if she and Fielding want to play or whatever. Sometimes I'm like, I miss her, like I'm gonna pick her up. And her and Fielding go to the same school. So I picked her up. We come back to the house, and Fielding's playing with his cars, ignoring us. And Addie is sitting on the couch with me, and we're watching a movie. We're watching the movie Onward, if you've ever seen that on Disney. And the dad is dead because it's Disney. And
I was about to say,
apparently always has to be dead.
Thank you, Disney,
for bringing up the trauma all the damn time.
Explain it to our kids.
Yes.
They're catching on.
Yes. So Addie calls me Amma. She's always called me that. And she goes, Amma, is the dad dead? And I said yes. And then she looks at me, and she goes, Amma, am I going to die someday? And
How do
I was
you
like,
explain that to a 4.5-year-old?
Like, I was just picturing like the Inside Out movie where it's like all the people controlling your brain, where it's like red alert, red alert. Like there's a fucking problem. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Kortnie's still at work. Matt's not there. I'm by myself with with Fielding and Addie. And I'm like, I do not know. And I'm like, okay, Kortnie would want me to be honest. So I'm like, well, someday, yes, but not for a very long time. She starts tearing up, but she's like trying to be tough. So she's like, oh, okay. But when I die, I'm gonna come back, right? And I'm like, no, you stay dead. And she's like, oh, okay. And just like is about to start really crying, and I'm like, shit. So I'm like, but it's gonna be so fun. We're all gonna be in heaven. So
then you just start
overcompensating because I'm just like, please don't cry. So I'm like, heaven's gonna be so dope. We're gonna have ice cream parties.
Elsa and Anna are gonna be there.
We're all gonna be there. But then she puts together, you guys are gonna die too. And I'm like, shit. So then I was like, yeah, but not for a long time.
Well, so then she comes home to me. Yeah. She goes, guess what, Mom? When I get to heaven, we're gonna have Elsa and Anna, and there's gonna be a big party. And I'm like,
And then she tells Matt, I can't wait to go to heaven.
Yes.
I can't wait to die. And I'm like, shit, there was no right answer.
Yes, and there is none. And you explained it fine. It was just then, she's asking more questions.
Sheer
panic.
So
I'm trying to like re-smooth everything over. And then she asked me and this, I don't even know if this is on the same day because we have conversations about heaven all the time. Is just
She's
someone
obsessed
that
right
wants
now.
to know
Because she can't
about
understand
all
it.
of
So
it.
I think it's more like
and
she's
what got
really
me, what got me was the night we're laying in her bed and she asked me, Mom, because your mom's not alive, are you not going to be alive whenever I have kids? And I'm like, a 4.5-year-old, and I'm not saying she's a genius. I don't know.
She's a genius.
I don't want to say she's a genius, and then
I co-own her, and she's a genius. So please.
But for my 4.5-year-old to ask me that question, and for me to just give the best answer possible, of I hope that I live for a long time, baby.
Yeah. You answered way better than I would have because I would have been like, absolutely, I'm never dying.
Forever.
And guess what? If I die, we're going to taxidermy me and I'm going to have a party and I'll leave my voice recordings. Like, I would have said the most outlandish shit. That's why you're like so much better at handling that stuff. I'm just not there yet.
It's so scary. And she just brings it up all the time. I mean, we were on the way to daycare. We're pulling into daycare randomly. And she's like, Mama, am I going to get to see Grandma Beck whenever, I get to heaven? I'm like, girl, it's 7 in the morning.
Like shut the hell up,
I don't want to be thinking about my mom's death right now.
I was telling her she's obsessed with birthdays on top of everything. So not only do we have this obsession with death, but we also have this obsession with getting older. And it's more about the celebration because she is ours. And she loves to celebrate. I wonder where she got it from. But we were talking and I said, well, I was explaining whose birthday was next because I think we had just had Fielding's birthday or Matt's birthday and then Connor's birthday was next and I was like, okay, then who's next? It's me and then it's Mom and then it's your birthday again because she was always concerned about when her birthday is in the lineup. And I said, and can you believe it? Mom's going to be 30 this year. She's so old. It's like just joking with her and she goes, is she going to die soon? And I was like, shit, that is not what I was going for. Like, I was like, no, people live.
She's so literal.
And I said, people live like 100 years. And so your mom's only going to be 30. That means she's got like 70 years left. She doesn't know math. Why am I giving her these numbers? Like, I fucked it up worse. I fumbled the ball.
A visual chart for her that explains everything.
I just need to not be alone with her because if she corners me with these questions, I'm like, I'm not equipped. Like,
she knows you'll break.
She does, so she pressures me. It's like an interrogation. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm used to a kid that can't freaking talk. So my son doesn't speak English, and that may be intentional. So can you back off of me? She's always trying to corner my ass. It's terrible. It's so terrible. Like, because my kid doesn't speak English. No, I always say that.
Just that she literally interrogates is what she does.
She freaking does. And then I asked her, she saw, because the guys had the podcast video pulled up, and she goes, I see you on the computer. I said, what do you think? She said, it's fine.
Oh.
I'm like, all right, bitch. Like, damn.
Nothing like having a 4-year-old bring
she humbles the shit out of us. Well, then we were taking pictures one day, and she looked at them on your phone, and she goes,
as I said, how do they look? She's like, they're okay. What? Damn. No, you're supposed to tell me I'm the most beautiful person that you've ever seen.
No, she doesn't buy into that.
No.
She doesn't buy into that.
No bullshit with that one.
She talking about keep it real.
She keeps it real with us.
I'm terrified for her teenage
there's just like that mom traum that's just, weighs on me constantly because she likes to just remind me all the time.
Just the crushing weight of existing.
I love to hear it. And on that note,
I think that is it for us for the week. So again, you guys will hear from us next Wednesday.
This was so good. It was very invigorating for me. And you even said, like, once we get started, we'll be fine. I was sleepy. I had a long day at work. This girl, eventually, hopefully I'll be making money like we said. But until then, I'm teaching it up every day.
You are in person, which is terrible. I had to drive downtown today for state testing, and I got done early, thank God. I was supposed to be there till like 5, and I got done way earlier than that because God was smiling on me today, truly, because that is not the case typically with I'm allowed to say start testing. It's to say in Texas. Start testing usually takes forever, but it's just a busy season for being a teacher. This is the stretch from spring break to the end of the year sucks. But
this was so good though.
It was good for my soul. And one thing to look forward to if you are a listener, if you are subscribing, if you're thinking about like just enjoying this with us, Kortnie does get to start working from home with me next year. I say with me as if we live together. We're just gonna be together all the time, but it's going to free up a lot more time.
I get to also work from home, and so
and I think your mental load is so lightened when you work from home.
That's what I've heard from
me
a couple
and
of
our other
familiar
friend.
experiences.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so, because that mental load's pretty heavy right now.
Just not having to wake up and go like get bullied at school, man. Like, come on. I mean, I know we're about to end this, but you teach elementary, so your experience is way different than mine. I've always taught high school. I teach middle school now, but online, so it's not the same.
Yeah.
But I always taught high school in person for 3.5 years, and my days were just filled with like catching kids vape and fight, and it was just like,
it's kind of crazy because mine, I'm like, I really do love my kids.
I know.
Like, I truly enjoy them.
I miss my kids a lot.
I miss my kids
a lot, but like we've talked about, my kid is first, and
yeah.
it just kind of is what it is. And
now,
for this season of life, and
I just want to take advantage of all the time I have left with my kids.
Well, and I like get to spend so much more time with Fielding. Like, he was in daycare literally 40 hours a week, and now he goes to daycare maybe max 4 days a week on a busy week, but typically maybe 2 or 3 days. And it's like that time. I mean, just kidding. He goes to daycare all the time. If you're my employer listening, but I get so much more time with him, and just like our mornings are easier. It's just not. It's like eliminated that.
It's not go
rush hour in the morning.
Running,
and like where you're dropping them off and they're crying and then you're crying.
Well,
and
then you're not stopping. Like, I don't stop until 10 o'clock at night.
No, you don't have time to pee. And then whenever you're done with other people's kids, guess what? You go pick up your own kids, and then you're screwed. Like, I actually have alone time now, and it's like kind of crazy.
I haven't had that in a while.
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
Listen, so we've got summer coming up. We'll both be done. When's your last day?
June 1st.
Okay, June 1st is your last day. I think I'm done like right before that. Like May 23rd is our last school day. But anyways, we'll be done soon, and then we'll have all summer, and hopefully be able to release more content. Maybe get a Patreon going, get shit popping.
Y'all just keep up the views and the subscribes, and we'll keep it coming.
If we ever figure out what the Instagram is, then we'll tell you. One more thing I did want to mention, if I can remember what I put. Oh, yeah, okay. So my aunt is doing a campaign. My dear, dear aunt. She's my aunt, but she's only like 8 years older than me. We'll get into that later, this family tree. But my dear Auntie Claire, who I love very much, is what's she running for? It's a person of, please look it up. Something
I got this.
Like not influencer. She's a real estate agent, but she's doing like this campaign to be something of 2024, person of influence or something like that. But what she has picked is
I'm looking.
It's okay.
Keep going.
Childhood blood cancers, I think, is like the whole thing that she is starting. So this is a very not eloquent way of saying what she's doing. Sorry, Claire. But she is taking donations. She's trying to raise $250,000
oh my gosh, I didn't
in 10
realize
weeks.
that.
Yeah, her and her team. So that is her goal. So if you would like to donate or consider donating, it's a tax write-off. I donated today. She's actually...
Can we link this? That way people
yes, we'll put it in the link.
I'm not finding the exact information.
Well, so I made
her
a tiny URL. I, taught an old dog new tricks today, Claire. And it's tinyurl.com/Claire Warren donation, I believe.
Well, and Claire is CLAIRE.
Yes.
Warren.
Warren, WARREN. And it's either donate or donation. We'll link it.
We'll link it.
But that is something she's trying to do, and she's helping a lot of people. She's sharing really inspiring stories. Yeah, and she's got, it's like, I think, touched the lives of a lot of people near her. And actually what she's doing right now is a raffle. So if you donate, you only have to donate $25. You get entered into a raffle. She is like, has the best style and interior design you've ever seen in your life. She does interior design professionally.
Yeah.
And she has the most immaculate taste. I feel like a slumlord when I go to her house. I'm like, I am a rat.
Yeah.
And she is
she's
a
amazing.
queen. But so something she does, she's got 2 daughters. She frames like a vintage Hermes scarf in their rooms, which I saw these in her house before, but I didn't know they were Hermes scarves because I'm not classy.
I wouldn't know.
So she's auctioning off an Hermes scarf, a vintage one, that you could use to hang or you could wear if you're like feeling saucy, I guess.
Yeah.
But you only have to donate $25 and you get entered into that raffle. So I just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah,
Sorry,
love that.
didn't front load you on that.
That's
but
okay. No, I love that.
But yeah, so we support you, Claire. We've donated, and it's tax write-off, and
All right.
But on that note, thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you for everything and
subscribe.
hanging in there with us.
We're gonna hunt you down if you don't. Just kidding.
We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, and we're on YouTube.
Subscribe to all 3, rate, review. We love you guys, and cheers to that. Bye.
Bye.